This is a stream about my reaction. I watched the full video recently. Usually I don't watch that much, about politics or something. But this video, touches me very much. Okay. Let me wait till people join. It's hard. When I finish this stream, I will share the link in the description, so you can watch the guy. He's now in Serbia, and there is a reason behind that. Hello, Terry. Let me know how you hear me, how you see me. Sometimes I gonna disappear for some moments, maybe sound is bad, it's not loud, or why it's bad? Because of this crazy mic. Not hearing me at all, or there is some sounds and I can turn off the fan. Anyway. What about now? Buzzing. It's that connection or something? 4G. What about now with that microphone? Is it better? Really better? Now it's better. Okay. Let me know if you know NFKRZ. I don't know why his name is like that. Let me know if you watched his video. And what do you think about it? But I will put it and I will react on it. So you hear me better now? Yeah, this is, one of the most famous Russian YouTubers. So he has 1 million subscribers. Hello, Finola. 1 million subscribers, and he usually, he was like a gamer or something, and then he turned talking about politics. How you hear me now? Is it okay? Yeah, this microphone that I bought is not that good, and mine, the very good one, is broken. Okay, never heard of him, so I will introduce you to him. So let me, I will I will switch the camera to my PC. It's better because if I will not use the application that shares the screen, the connection will not be that good. Anyway, so his name is Roman. Fuck cares. What is this? NF. No. No. Fuck. This is his name. Okay, I understand now. Yeah, so okay. I will scroll a little bit the beginning of his video, and watch like the most important part where he talk about stuff.
Happened and how it influenced my view of the world and everything. And I really do feel like for the past year I've been getting, basically more and more depressed with the state of the world and just realizing how human beings really are and what they're like, if that makes any sense. I kind of feel like there's...
Yeah, so he's, I mean, I like how he speak English. I mean, I don't know where he learned that English, but his English is very well. I mean, very good. I mean, he speaks so fast and he used like very good words. And I mean, he's like almost like native speaker. I feel him, and almost I don't hear his accent. I mean, he doesn't have the Russian accent, and even I mean, he doesn't look that Russian. I don't know. Maybe from Caucasus countries. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But he said that he's from Chelyabinsk, I think. But he should be like completely Russian. Anyway.
No hope for the world and people are like, kind of terrible. And it's like a big personal crisis for me, And that is exactly why I titled this video this way. But basically, I already know what some people are gonna say. So if you're already like, typing down in the comments saying that, this is gonna be yet another video of a Russian complaining how his life is, so terrible and everything, it's going to be exactly that. You're right. If you want to be reductive...
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't know. And like a lot of Russians are complaining about their lives. Yeah, of course. I mean, they are pushed in such situation where, I mean, it's hard for them. Yeah, the thing that he will say in the end, I mean, it's very, very touchy, very important. Yeah, he's very smart, I think, and the thing that he's doing, I mean, is for his best, because having like 1 million subscribers, and I mean.
So if you want to miss the point of the entire video,
the only way he should be, I mean, I think careful somehow. Yeah. I mean, I respect that he said like, I mean. So people tell him like, you are not telling enough about the situation and everything, and he say like, I mean, that if I will put myself in danger, who gonna protect me? I mean, and despite that, I mean, he has a lot of content that is like, I mean, he say enough, but people say that he doesn't.
In this video is the direct responsibility and the direct result of the actions of my governments, of my country, and I realize that. So.
Yeah, because I mean, anything you say, like, I mean, of course, all Russians they understand what's going on, and they understand who is like the fault of all this, and he's saying it.
Okay, but anyway, before I make my point, I kind of want to describe, what sort of ticked me off to make this video in the first place, because that's how, most realizations come to me in my life is, certain things happen to me or to people I know. I see that, I process it, I think about it, and then sometimes it takes like the tiniest little thing to really, set you off.
Yeah, let me, by the way, know how you hear him. I mean, you said that my voice is okay, so how you hear him now talking? I mean, I didn't have the chance, I mean, I don't have the chance to use the application or to share. And please, if the connection will cut, just wait a little bit, because I don't have like good connection. Yeah, I mean, about the danger, I mean, let's say, I mean, okay, let's say that someone, like some Russian, is living outside the country, and this Russian, for example, I have the alternative. Me personally, I have the alternative. I have the Algerian passport. So in case, I mean, anything happen, I mean, I can use the Algerian passport. But let's say that someone he is like completely Russian. Maybe he is completely Russian. I mean, he doesn't have another citizenship. So let's suppose he's like, I mean, working. I mean, to get the residence or to get another citizenship, and or he will be like invited to a country, and most of the countries, by the way, they have a rule. Like, I mean, if you have to make a visa. So the rule is, yeah, Thomas, just let me speak. You are interrupting a lot. So they have a rule. They have a rule that your passport shouldn't be, I mean, shouldn't expire after 6 months. If it's like, I mean, will expire after 6 months, that means that they will not give you the visa, and they will not give you the residence, and they will not give you anything. I mean, because kind of your passport is already like almost expired. So let's suppose that he want to prolong his passport, and he will, I mean, say everything that is asked from him. So he will go, for example, to the embassy, or how to say, to prolong the passport, and his passport will not be prolonged or something. He will be in kind of list or something. I mean, I understand. I mean, and who gonna, for example, I don't know, help him? He will be like a person without nationality or something, or he will be stuck in, like, in the movie Terminal. Like, he will be stuck in some airport, and he will live there, or I don't know, or he gonna go homeless, or I don't know. I mean, how he can get the money that way without passports, without prolonging it? I mean, if he can't, I mean, even get the residence in another place, or he can't get the citizenship right away. I mean, how? Yeah.
Ticked me off to make this video is that right now I'm actually trying to look into immigrating to one of the European countries, and I'm doing this with the help of lawyers. So one issue I actually ran into is my lawyers couldn't accept my payments because their bank rejects payments from Russian nationals with Georgian bank accounts, because essentially their bank claims that they look at any such transaction as potentially suspicious and like potentially avoiding sanctions.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that, like, when they say, like, I mean, sanctioning the banks, I mean, the Russian banks, they are sanctioned, so you are kind of in a sanctioned country, that you can't use the bank of that country. Okay, it's like the card are not accepted of that country, like the country aggressor and everything. But like, someone who left the country because he didn't want to support what the country is doing, and he left, like, the country, and he opened the bank account in another country, but just because he is, like, I mean, he was born in that country, so I mean, his payment shouldn't be accepted. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just like us here in Sri Lanka, we went to the bank, and they said that they can't open for us a bank account just because we are Russians. Or just we were in Turkey, and they said, like, I mean, you are Russians, that's why we will not give you the residence. Yes, we will not give you the residence because you are Russians. I mean, what that has to do? I mean, I don't know. They could, for example, I always think about that. I mean, they could, for example, make a test, like, I mean, recently I was talking with a guy. He told me about those people who go to US because, like, the reason that they go to US because their community, like for example, homosexuals community is like, I mean, not welcome in other countries. That's why, I mean, they go to US and ask, I mean, for I mean, the protection, and they kind of make them prove that they are really homosexuals. I mean, some people, they can lie about that just to get the, like that protection, and they make like tests or something like to know that like the uh, the person is really homosexual. I mean, why they don't do like a test? I mean, if you are really, I mean, you can, they can use like the lie detector or something. I mean, like that. If they support, the person support the what's the country is doing or not. If this person is really supporting that or not. I mean, I mean, that's the best thing. Not like if you are from that country that you are bad, but that means every single 146 million people they are all bad. I mean, crazy.
And when I was told that, I was so mad. I mean, it's actually like, what sanctions am I avoiding in particular? I'm not a sanctioned individual. I'm not a fucking Gazprom oligarch or whatever, you know, like, I'm just a guy who's trying to make a living and who's trying to, like, move in the world. And the thing is, right, this seems like pretty insignificant, and, you know, the issue was figured out because they paid.
Yeah, he said, I am not a sanctioned guy. I mean, he doesn't make millions. He is not involved in everything that's going on. He just lived in Russia. It's, I mean, it's like a coincidence or his life, or I don't know. Okay, I'm back. Please, when the connection disappears, just wait a little bit and it will be back. I mean, this is the connection that I have now. I don't have a better one. So, it's not my fault that I was born in Algeria. It's not my fault that my mother is Russian. It's not my fault that my father is Algerian. It's not my fault, I mean, that I'm white. I mean, it's not my fault. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's not his fault as well that he's Russian and he was born in Russia. And I mean, it's not his fault that he's. I mean, the West is Russian who decided to leave. We should be making it easier for those who have decided to leave Russia. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing that I always thought about this situation, that they are just helping the guy. I mean, they are helping like Russian government to have more people to use them. I mean, it's really crazy. I mean, okay, the connection. Don't care about the connection. I mean, it's disappear and come back again. So if they are, I mean, how to say? What I wanted to say, really, I mean, my head is not working very well. So, if you were vending, should making it's easier. Yes. If those guys, I mean, left, yeah. If those guys left, that means they are not supporting that thing. But I mean, making this, like making it harder to people who left, to make it harder to people who left, that means you are pushing them to go back. What the hell? I mean, from one side they say, I mean, we don't support this, we don't want to support this, we don't want to have war, we don't want to support the government, but I mean, but we have to send those people who are like not agree and who doesn't want to do that, who don't want to do that. We have to push them back to go. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's crazy.
Basically asked me to pay them through crypto, but it did leave a sour taste in my mouth, you know, if you could put it that way. Because this is just one of those roadblocks that you encounter at literally every single step you're trying to take right now. If you're trying to, you know, pretty much do anything that is related to, you know, having to deal with countries that sort of sanction Russia or whatever. If you're...
We should not be fashioning Russian back who do not want to. Yeah, I mean, if they are not supporting, I mean, that. Why? I mean, just like I said, maybe you was here or not. I mean, in the beginning when I said like they can make a test or something like that. I mean, if you agree, are you supporting this? Are you? I mean, what do you think about this situation? They can make them even like let's. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I prefer to be treated like a criminal and putting on my head like electrodes. I don't know to check if I am lying or I'm telling the truth, rather than to feel that I am like sanctioned all the time, and rather than being. I mean, I don't know, hard for me to open a bank account, hard for me to get a residence, hard to me to get a visa. I mean, just put on me those things and try me and read my I don't know my mind with all the methods. I mean, or and I will tell the truth what I really think. I mean, they can just test people, and that's it. I mean, that's the only solution. I mean, but why? I mean, someone is against, who is not supporting all this stuff. He should be like, I mean, treated like he's like a criminal. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, yes, Thomas. It's not about liking NFKRZ, liking him or not liking him. It's what he's saying, but in particular in this video, and even like in his other videos, he's like, I mean, he was always, I mean, making fun of what's okay. Check here. Look at the titles that he has. He's always making fun of what's going on. This, that, lies. I mean, he's also like, I mean, not supporting anything of that. Yeah. I mean, when I watch, I don't watch him that much. I just sometimes I like to laugh sometimes to relax, and I see his yeah, he's 20, yeah, he's very young, and I see his videos. Just I want to laugh sometimes, and just like with Sasha, and we watch. I mean, we don't watch only serious videos about politics, but sometimes, I mean, politics in sense of humor. So we just relax and watch them. So I watch him sometimes from time to time, and I wasn't even like subscribed to him, but I mean, when I saw this video, I mean, I wanted. I mean, I mean, he shared the same that I have like in my mind and in the mind of a lot of Russians who left. Yeah.
A Russian citizen, and this little issue is literally in every single like facet of your life, if that makes any sense, right? These automatic systems, essentially, they do no differentiating at all, and nobody really cares like what your stance is. Nobody cares because you're treated like the exact same way as the people, you know, who wave the Z flag or whatever. Basically, if you're Russian, you have like the mark of the beast, and you know, I hear stories like this all the time. For
Yeah, just like I said, that means we are treated the same. I mean, it doesn't matter if we support or not support. I mean, we are treated the same. I mean, it doesn't matter. So that means I mean, being like pro peace and not wanting the war, it's not welcoming. It's sort of welcome them. That's the meaning of that. I mean, that's the meaning of that. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't want to have like I don't know how to say statue build or I mean, I don't know, to big reward for these people who left. I don't want them. I mean, to have like I don't know to be considered like heroes or something. They are. I mean, just simple people. They left, but why? I mean, they like push them back. It has no sense. It has no sense. Only I mean, if we think that like both sides are working together against people. Okay, so those who left once the war started. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you will see in the end how what he will say, and he will say a very, very, very important thing. I will talk about it later. Yeah.
Example, I have a friend from St. Petersburg. He actually moved to Israel because he's Jewish and he got the passport of Israel. And his friend, who's also a Israeli citizen now, who was born in Russia, was trying to open a bank account somewhere in Europe, and he was denied, even with an Israeli citizenship. Because
Whew. Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't watch like all the video like directly. I just watch it before. I mean, like the guy even had like he said like Israeli citizenship, and he was denied just because he was Russian before. Oh my god. so yeah, sorry about the connection. It will cut and just wait a little bit. Yeah, in Russian they say kleymo. Kleymo, I mean that's when they put on the slaves like I don't know, with the something from metal, they put a sign on them. I mean, they say kleymo. So when they put a sign on them, on people, I mean, or sometimes they do like for animals that sign. So it's like a sign. Like I mean, that means if you, I don't know, suddenly or you was born there, or I mean, you have relatives from there, or I mean, even like having another citizenship, like Israeli citizenship, Jewish citizenship, and he can't open a bank account. Whew. How funny is that? I mean, I didn't expect that. I mean, really, I mean, I thought like the only solution is to have another citizenship. So that means, I mean, if I will go to the bank with my Algerian passport, so I will tell them, I want to open a bank account as an Algerian. Can you open for me a bank account as an Algerian? They said, no, we can't open a bank account as an Algerian because you have another citizenship that is sanctioned. I mean, even I burn in front. Crazy. I didn't have the chance to read the M. Terry Lane. M. Terry Lane, you deleted the message by yourself? If there was those who have left, I'm sure more would leave. Yeah. Yeah, it's strange time. It's crazy time.
because he was born in Russia. And like, you know, I just fail to see how that is like an epic win. And basically what I'm trying to say here is that this brings me to my greater points, which is why I want to die. I don't know, this...
Yeah, I mean, like the title of his video, why I don't like the word. I mean, so it's like psychological torture. Yeah, it's psychological torture. So you can't, like they say, like you have to be against, but if you are against, you will be punished anyway. I mean, I mean, it could be like even against human rights, because like the person has rights to choose where to live, where to go, where to open a bank account, where to get the residence. I mean, and going like doing all the rules. I mean, like we are in Turkey and a lot of people in Turkey, so they rented an apartment, applied for the residence, but no, they can't have the residence. Why? Because I mean, crazy. Yeah, because they are Russian. I mean, because they were born in Russia. This is their fault. I mean, their fault is not because they supported. Their fault not because of I mean, voted. Their fault is not because, I mean, they didn't do anything. I mean, they didn't change the situation, etc., etc., etc. No, their fault is just because they were born there. Stupid.
this point, it just feels like the world is, so filled with like racism, xenophobia, and it honestly feels like it's absolutely overflowing right now, and people are just oozing it out of like their pores. And here's the thing, I do realize that this is pretty much how the world has always been, and maybe I just didn't fully realize it because I was never, at the other side of it, at the receiving ends, I guess. But it is something that I'm deeply passionate about because, personally, like my entire, I had a huge transformation in my politics on this YouTube channel. At one point, I was sort of like an anti-SJW red pill guy, but I've had a transition because I started actually realizing the real issues that, minorities and oppressed people are facing, and I started feeling a lot of empathy for those people.
Yeah, just someone said like he has like he's 25 years old or 30 years old. Uh, I mean, he's 25 years old. Yeah. So I mean, instead, like such people, like such young people. I mean, they are young. I am 38. I mean, even me, I'm young, and like a lot of young people, they left. I mean, like Dima from Russia and the others. I mean, but they find it hard. I mean, they don't. Of course, I have experience. I can stand all this. I mean, I'm a fighter. I can. I mean, face anything because I faced enough things in my life. I mean, I told that in my trailer video. I told that in my new video I created. I mean, I faced a lot of things, and I'm strong enough psychologically to face this and keep facing this and keep trying from one country to another, and struggling and everything. But like young people who just left, and they didn't like what's happening, and they wanted to to build a new life in another country. I mean, imagine that. I mean, they are young, they are very, very young, and they are blamed because, like a big political game, they are blamed, like the people blame them, the young people, like 25 years old. I mean, I don't know how old they are. I mean, they blame them. And instead of, like, they are young, instead of building their life, instead of thinking of business, instead of, like, I don't know, doing something useful for this world, they have, to struggle with all this stuff. Crazy. Yeah. And in the end, when he gets back, everybody said that he's bad, or, a lot of people, they say that. That's why, I don't blame that much those who came back, because, I don't know, maybe they came back to prolong the passport. Who knows? Maybe they have, like, a passport expired. Maybe they came back because they need, for example, when you get the residence, you have to have the apostille, and the apostille, it's easier to get it in Russia, because apostille is like, a stamp in the document. I had, like, because I didn't have a lot of money, and I was, like, saving the money. I had to go 3 times, go and back in the same day without spending a night in the hotel, to go from one city to another, like, about how much kilometers? 500 kilometers or something like 500 miles. Going there and back, I had to do that just to get the document, because they did a mistake, etc., etc. But some people, they could, if they have enough, they can just go to Russia and make the apostille for free. And it was like, it costed me money. It costed me $200 plus energy, plus time, plus a lot of things. It costed me to make that apostille, that stamp. But it's easier to go to Russia and go to the place where they do that apostille, and you almost pay nothing, like, it's very cheap, and you do it in Russia and go further, because those documents are needed. Like, any document is needed from Russia, a lot of documents, and people, they can't, especially in such situation where a lot of people, like, they left in hurry, they couldn't take all the documents, for example. They couldn't do everything. There is, like, a way to, how to say, to not to secure yourself, but to to be able to let someone else care about your documents. You have to go to the notar, I don't know how to call it in English, like a special lawyer, and you have to give the permission to someone else to make things behalf, or how to say, behalf you, or to make things without your, I mean, with your permission. For example, you write this paper that this person can, for example, sell my apartment, can sell my like car, or I mean, let's suppose also about like think about those people who want to sell their apartment or to sell their cars, or they still have a business. I mean, what they can do? They have to come back. I mean, like the same, like the guy who were he we met the guy in Turkey, a Russian guy, and he visited us there in Turkey, and we were friends. And we were meeting. Yeah, sorry about the connection. Yeah, it will disappear and appear again. So just stay for a while. Wait. So I mean, those people who have a business. I mean, like the guy told you about him, because his wife was already, I mean, very afraid that he will be taken to the war, and she said. She said that I mean, she was afraid that he will be taken, and she said that let's go to Moldova and live there, and like forget about your business, open a new business. But he didn't want, because he has this business for years, like 18 years or something like that, and he can, I don't know, understand everything about it, and he didn't have like the choice, and he had to come back. I mean, it was a hard decision for him, but I mean, he understand what's going on, he understand everything, but he has to come back. I mean, like, even like as you said, as you see, like this guy, he said like his friend has like Israeli passport, but he wasn't accepted. I mean, they said that we will not open a bank account because you were born in Russia. Just because in the passport he has like the word Russia, was born in Russia. Just like me. I mean, I was born born in Algeria, and when we went to Georgia, they stopped me and they told me you can't go. Like they were letting all Russians go, but they didn't let me. Why? Because I was born in Algeria, and Algeria considered like Arabic country. I mean, like they consider Arabic country. It's a dangerous country. Like I mean. Before they have like theories and stuff, and I mean they considered Algeria like dangerous country, even in the time where there is nothing bad about Algeria, and there is nothing going on. It's like it was like a very old story about what happened with, I mean, Arabic people, and what happened with 11th September and everything. I mean, it was a long story, but they didn't let me pass just because I was born in Algeria. They even like in the time where, I mean, everybody, I mean, angry about Russians and everything, they let the Russian pass, but they didn't let me pass. And they had to spend the night, and we slept on the floor, like with my wife and child. We slept on the floor on cartons, on pieces like this. I mean, we slept on them, like on the floor all the night, just because they didn't let me. And they didn't let Sasha, didn't let me, Bogdan as well. They didn't let a family with kids just because they are from Crimea, and Crimea is a part of Russia. They like it's I mean, I don't know. They let all the Russians pass, but not those who are from Crimea. Yeah. He can live in Israel, but he couldn't open a bank account in Europe just because he was born in Russia. Yeah. Yeah, it's very difficult to leave the country, even like, I mean, if you are if everything is okay. So imagine how how it's hard for someone who is like, I mean, all the doors are closed for him. Yeah, crazy.
And I already thought that the world was kind of fucked, but now I think it's like completely Like, I don't see any points, really, you know what I mean? And, since Russians could be described as a group that is, hated in a lot of countries right now, I don't want to obviously, compare my struggle to struggle of, like, racial minorities or, like, gay people or something. But there is a bit of a struggle there, and I feel like, I empathize with those people even more now. But
Yeah, I mean, his English is so good. I mean, it's clear that he's like, I don't know, someone from this world. I mean, no, no, no. I mean, his English is very well, very good. He traveled to different countries and he has friends from all around the world. And he's like not the kind of person who is like brainwashed or something. I mean, he's the kind of person who is like open-minded, and he's the kind of person who is like, I mean. I don't know. He's useful. He can. I mean, he can. He's bringing a lot of value to the world, and I mean, even like the entertainment. Maybe some people don't like the entertainment, but entertainment is also like important for people, like to not get depressed, to not I don't know, do something bad for themselves. I mean, entertaining people is very important, and he's like his English. I mean, when you hear his English, I mean, if like you don't even like think that he's Russian. I mean, his English is very good. That means he already like, I mean, contacted a lot of people. He practiced it. He traveled the world, and he's smart guy. And I don't know.
Also mainly I feel like just from what I see online all the time, from what people say on like news articles, about the Russians or whatever, or just how different nations of people who always like have rivalry with each other, like, Greece and Turkey or Armenia and Azerbaijan or whatever, how those people treat each other online. I'm just like, it's just really sad. And I think the biggest reason is that, people just lack empathy and people can never, put themselves into other people's shoes.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Please explain what you are saying. I mean, you are always using words, Thomas, with the not clear meaning. I mean, you just write wife. You write SSR. You have Baghdad. What do you mean by I have Baghdad? Just explain to me this. I mean, be more clear. Be more specified. We are all like all adult people, and we should understand each other, and we should be clear. Yeah. So. I mean, what he said now.
The reason is that, people just lack empathy.
Yeah, I mean, like, all the word divide and conquer. So he's talking about like the division between like, I mean, Chelyabinsk, yes. That's a funny joke. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe he lived outside or something. Yeah. Yeah, so he showed, I mean, the conflict between, I mean, you always like find that between like two countries, there is like a conflict between two countries, and mostly like their leaders, they are, yeah, yeah. So mostly their leaders, yeah. What do you mean by I have a family, Thomas? Yes, I have a family. So what? I shouldn't talk about this topic or what? I want to say when two countries fight, so usually their leaders are okay. I mean, both presidents from both sides are okay. Nothing happened to them. I mean, nothing happened to politicians. I mean, just think about that. I mean, like both sides, you can say safe. I mean, and in the end, like just people fighting each other, like in online. I mean, he said like an example of Armenia and Azerbaijan and other countries that fight each other. I mean, they fight each other. They fight in the I don't know, in the internet. They how to say. Yeah, they fight in the internet. Maybe I mean yeah, relatives start, for example, hating each other. Like families get broken because of that. Like if like let's suppose like the wife is okay, the husband is no, or I mean the brothers and sisters. I mean they can all separate because of these arguments, because of the war, because I mean I don't know, friends can start hating each other. So it's I mean all about division. I mean it's not about union. And in the end, like as I said, like the leaders both are okay and having their business and living their life and enjoying it.
And people can never, put themselves into other people's shoes. People can never imagine what it's like to be the other person, which is something that I personally try to do all the time. And this is precisely why, for example, when I talk about, whatever, Russians being, called subhuman or whatever, or orcs, or people who are like, not able to have a civilized country or like a civilized democracy or whatever, essentially people that are, have like a gene of slavery in their blood that are like, inherently lesser than any other nation. There's a particular reason why I don't complain about, for example, like Ukrainians talking shit about Russians right now, because
Yeah, I mean, in this also like situation, also we have to think about the history. We have to think about the history of Russia. We have to think about the history of, I mean, let's say China, the history of any country who that were they had like dictatorship for a long time. They had communism for a long time. So like for them it's not that easy. I mean why I say he speak good English and that's impressive, because I mean all the restrictions, because all lot of let's even take like the fact that some websites are blocked. I mean even in China some websites they have blocked. I mean I remember like I was talking with this Chinese guy and he said that we can't use YouTube. You can't use YouTube. We can't use Google because we have our own like I don't know own YouTube, like another website. They have another Google. They couldn't use that. I mean, and what happened in the Soviet Union? I mean, people have to read the history. What happened in the Soviet Union? Yeah, what happened in the Soviet Union with people, how it was hard for them, like I mean to express themselves, hard to for them a lot of things. It was hard for people to do, and I mean when like generation by generation. I mean let's take I mean any country or I mean and let's take for example the time of slavery. So the time of slavery, like people were slaves. They were slaves, and they when they grow up like slaves, I mean they think that that's normal. Yeah, that's in the history when we had slaves. I mean, yeah, so they even their kids they think that's normal. I mean it's hard for them. It was very hard for them to change it, to make the revolution and to not be slaves anymore.
I have empathy for those people. I realize what they're going through right now. Their country is literally being destroyed, right? So I wouldn't expect them to say anything about Russians. I don't think like right now is the time or the place to criticize those people. And I would say the same for a lot of the people from countries that were attacked by Russia at one point. For example, Georgia, the soil that I'm standing on right now. However,
yeah. Disregarding Roman's video on how he's disappointed with the world. Yeah, George. Yeah, that's about his video. I want just to react to this video. Yeah, so he said like he understand from what I don't know, from what I understand now. He kind of I mean it's okay. I mean like he can't criticize people like from Ukraine or from Georgia, because I mean they were like already like victims of all these, and they I mean always like they when they say something I mean against Russians or something, so it's hard like to criticize them because like there are a lot of emotions and stuff. But when somebody from other countries, they start, I mean, calling like bad things, just and you can just read the comments, like the comments on his video, or sometimes I don't know. I don't leave those comments, but in this video, and you will find sometimes like comments under my videos, and they start like, I mean, saying bad things about me, like personally, just because I am Russian. I mean, people from other countries, they blame me of what's going on in Russia. What the government is doing, or what the army is doing. They like I am guilty, or other Russians are guilty. They blame them, and it's like a lot of, I mean, a lot of hate on Russians. I mean, uh, it's crazy. Yeah, but what these people have to do with the situation? Sometimes I think that there is like not of people, but I think there's a campaign or something like that. Sometimes I feel that those are not just simple trolls. I mean, usually the simple troll, they can, I mean, say that you are not looking good, you are this way, that way. I mean, but it looks like, I mean, it's a big campaign against people, even if they left the country. So there is a big campaign against them. I mean, maybe those are even robots writing, or I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, because if it was really because of the hate, or because of the political view, it could. I mean, it could be like how to say. I don't know, in a smart way, like constructive comment, or related really. But they are all similar, those comments, and they are, I mean, or against Russians, even if they are not supporting, just blaming people just because they are Russian. Do you ever watch Konstantin says Russia? Yeah, I watch him from time to time. I just don't watch a lot of politics. I mean, but yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, thank you, Sam. Yeah, there are still people, normal people, who consider that like people who has nothing to do with that.
But to be quite honest, in the recent months, and this is going to be controversial.
Okay, so sorry about this. Sometimes the connection will cut because I don't have a very good connection. So just wait a little bit. It will cut for 30 seconds and come back. Yeah.
Agree with this, but I feel like in the past year, from just seeing what people are saying online, from seeing the discussions of what's going on with Russia currently, from seeing even comments on my videos, which a lot of them are very derogatory towards Russians. Actually, I sort of honestly realized that this sort of acceptance and like tolerance of the Western world is sort of a lie. And once again, don't take me wrong, I would take the European Union any day over like Putin's necro USSR or whatever. However, it is.
Yeah, I mean, like there is, there is something famous about the Europe. Yeah, so they say there is no human rights in Russia. There is a lot of racism in Russia. There is a lot of discrimination in Russia. While, I mean, it's okay to discriminate people who left Russia. I mean, it's not logical. It's, I mean, how to say, double side, double face, or I don't know how to say. I mean, if you are like pro, if someone is pro rights, that means they have to be pro rights always. I mean, it doesn't matter if you are Russian or not Russian. You have human rights. You have human rights. That means you left the country and you are like, I mean, you want to start a new life in another country, so you have to be welcome. It's your right. It's a human right. Yeah, and especially like a person like him or me or others who are like, I'm not, I don't know, crazy. Yeah, about free food, I don't know, take a look to tomorrow, like the party. Yeah, but sometimes I mean I can't think, just can't think about what's around me. I just have to say, I don't know, this is a video about my reaction.
It's true that a lot of people in the West, are still plagued by this sort of like, holier than thou mentality, where they essentially assume and have this sort of idea that they, as Western people, are like more superior to Eastern Europe and Russia in particular, because once again, like I said, Russia is like a nation of orcs and uncivilized, barbarians or whatever. And once again, here's the thing: I'm not trying to call out like the entirety of the people who live in the Western world or whatever. And very quite possibly, my view of the world is influenced by the.
Yeah, hello Black Cat. And hello everyone who is watching. Yeah, I mean if the human rights should be, I mean, for people, they should be for all people. If discrimination is and racism is bad for everywhere else, that means the racism and discrimination is bad against all people, even against Russians, because they are, I mean, yeah.
Internet is all, just because I'm terminally online and because like I spend my time reading, Reddit world news comments or something. Or Twitter or something, and I guess Twitter and Reddit are not good representations maybe of what like the average person thinks, but to some degree I do think it is a good representation though. And yeah, just the stuff I see all the time on these resources, like I said, once again, I just feel like people all over the world are just absolutely seething with like xenophobia and racism right now, and I just can't understand it, quite honestly. Like, and it feels like every day, I'm so.
Yeah, sometimes I mean, I don't know. Maybe this thing is made like artificially. Maybe really, I mean, most of people I meet, they are good people. I mean, there aren't like that much, I don't know, bad people. But I mean, maybe it's all made artificially, because you can, by the way, watch the video about the dead internet. Like the dead internet, that means, I mean, when you, check on Google, you check like the results of anything you search. So those numbers are all not always like the right. I mean, even like, I mean, comments, all the comments, they couldn't, like, all the comments were written by real people. I mean, there are some bots that can, I mean, bots or programs, or how to say, like, created artificially, accounts created artificially, and they can comment and they can interact with others, and they can, I mean, I don't know, they can spread negativity. So it's also like possible to do. The programmers, they can do anything. We talk every so often. He is depressed. If you would just tell others as part of the human race instead of concerning on differences, we would be all better. Yeah, sure.
Or, losing my hope for the human race with every passing day a little bit more. And I feel like a lot of people just, have no understanding of Russia and like the realities of Russia's, authoritarian or dictatorial, oppressive regime. And I feel like people have like very low amounts of compassion for people who live in dictatorships and who face like, the hardships that living in a dictatorship entails. And this is really hard to understand for me, because a lot of European countries in the past, they've had history of
Yeah, by the way, I also wanted to say, I mean, that's why I'm reacting to this video, because I have so many feelings and so many, I mean, I don't know, ideas to share. I mean, imagine a person like with 1 million subscribers. That means like he's already like successful on YouTube. He's making money. He's okay, living good. He can travel the world. He has friends in all over the world. And imagine like him struggling because of this situation. I mean, even him with 1 million subscribers, with money, with friends, with everything, he is struggling with this situation. So imagine how it could be for someone like me, or like, I mean, Dima, or I don't know who I mean, like simple people who doesn't have that much money, who doesn't have that much friends, who doesn't have that much relations, who doesn't have like who don't have I mean a lot of subscribers, or I mean who aren't rich. So imagine if it's hard for him with 1 million subscribers, so imagine how it's hard for other people with, I mean, none, or I don't know. Crazy.
Dictatorships as recent as the 20th century, Germany, Portugal, and I feel like people need to realize that Russia is not the only country that's going through this struggle, and that the people of Russia don't need to be fucking put down in the ground, especially if they're trying to actually distance themselves from the regime and actually like build a new life outside of it. Because right now, if you have a Russian passport, sometimes it's not that easy. And once again, I'm not saying it should be super easy, but you would never realize what I'm talking about because you're not like in my position.
Yeah, sorry for the connection. It can cut sometimes. You just have to wait a little bit and it will come back.
Outside of it, because right now, if you have a Russian passport, sometimes it's not that easy. And once again, I'm not saying it should be super easy, but you would never realize what I'm talking about because you're not like in my position. You don't know what kind of roadblocks I have to face. Once again, this is the exact type of thing where you would not understand me unless you walk like a mile in my shoes. And I might not understand your experience, right? But I'm not trying to make assumptions about you because of like your race or your passport, your nationality, or whatever. I'm trying to hear what like the person has to say, and I respect their experience. And pretty much my entire.
Yeah, as you see, like the guy is very respectful, and he respects others. He respects all the religions, all the. I mean, it doesn't matter where they are from. I mean, respect everyone. But in return, he is not respected. I mean, that's not fair.
Point to this video, right, is that the point of this video is that I'm trying to influence more people to like be empathetic towards others and like really listen to other people and like be accepting. And I'm not just talking about Russians, I'm talking about being accepting to all people. The point is listen to people when they tell you what they're going through. No matter if they're Russian or any other nationality. You going la 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 la.
Yeah. Yeah. No, two people are the same. There is the same. One man meets another man poison. Our situation they find very hard, but the next person finds it easy. Yes. Roman is a good guy. I think he's just venting to his subscribers. Yeah, I mean he got pissed off all this thing. Yeah. Yeah, as you say, like he is not talking only about Russians. He means that when somebody is talking, I mean, somebody is explaining a situation, like people they don't understand. They don't try to understand the person, but they try to find like what's the bad in this person, or to relate this person to something bad, and start, I mean, attacking this person. I mean. Yeah, I mean, he's talking generally about life, about the relation with people. Yeah, the relation with people to each other. I mean, it doesn't matter, like, if somebody is trying to open his heart and saying his, I don't know, what's inside of him. So, I don't know, maybe his name is Roman. Yeah, so people should listen to such person. You should understand like all the reason what's behind all of this. For example, let's suppose like recently one guy he said like why you are Russians like you usually hate people from I mean poor countries or something like that, and now you are coming to this country and you are complaining about some stuff and something. I mean And another guy, he wrote that he's Arabic, by the way, and I am myself from poor country. So oh my God, I mean, people, they don't even understand the background of someone, and they just start, I mean, attacking a person.
Get shit on for this video, but what I honestly, do you want to change?
Yeah. I didn't even like expect from him a video like this, because I thought he's a successful guy and he has money and he has subscribers and he's, I mean, okay, living okay. He will not face any trouble like this. He will always like find a way to deal with all this. But despite that, I mean, being so famous, 1 million subscribers, and I mean, having like thousands of views. For example, in this video, he has like 322,000 views. I mean, even such guy, he's, I mean, he's struggling. Very young when I was 20s, I did not have empathy. I did not truly understand that people struggle. Yeah. I mean, he's young, but he understands a lot of things. Yeah.
At all, because I do think I'm spreading like basic human truths, like empathy and understanding. These are basic human like values, and I don't really see what I'm saying in this video that like isn't like agreeable, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yes, like doing the right thing, and in the end, like seeing the rich people able to travel and live their lives, and yeah. I mean, that's what he was talking about. Yeah. And even those who are supporting, like supporting the war and everything, they can travel and they are enjoying their lives and everything. Yeah, he's Russian and he has 1 million subscribers, and despite that, he's like struggling with a lot of things. I mean, because of the sanctions and everything. Yeah.
Again, this is just my mindset, and it's my understanding of the world, and I believe that as human species, we should be fucking coming together and trying to understand each other. And the thing is, guys, you know, a lot of people are just not ready to have this conversation, to be honest, because a lot of people are not ready to look inside themselves really and like see what they're putting out there in the world. Because, for example, let's take like, you know, Western Europe once again. I get comments from Western Europeans all the time, basically, you know, calling Russians subhuman, and basically, you know, absolutely completely neglecting.
Yeah, he left Russia. He was living in Georgia for a while, and now, like recently, the last week, he went to Serbia. Yeah, and even this, I mean, I wanted to talk about this. So he's in Serbia now, but like a lot of people, when I went like to Sri Lanka, they say like, I mean, the kind of why you are going to Sri Lanka, because Sri Lanka is I don't know, supporting Russia somehow, or I mean, they have good relation with Russia. When I was in Turkey, also a lot of people, they unsubscribed and they said like, I will not subscribe to you anymore because you are in Turkey and Turkey is like kind of ally with Russia, or they are working together. I mean, what? I mean, and I understand why he went to Serbia. Yeah, Serbia, they have a lot of people who support like the Russian government, and they have relations with Russia, etc. And I know, like Serbian people, they even like, some of them they like even like support very much like the war and everything. But I mean, why he went to Serbia? Not because it's supportive, because it's easier for him to get a bank account. It's easier for him to live there in Serbia. It's easier for him to, I don't know, to make some documents to live, to I don't know. That's why it's easy. It was easy for us to go to Turkey. Yeah, please ignore when you the connection is cut, it will come back. Just wait for 30 seconds or something. This is the internet, the kind of the internet I have. Oh, I mean, it was easier for us to get the visa in Sri Lanka, like for $50 for 6 months. Yeah, that's why. I mean, and he more likely he went to Serbia. I don't know why the reason he went to Serbia, but he went to Serbia. Just ignore my connection. I mean, it's getting, I don't know. It can disappear for 30 seconds and come back, and I see it now. I am live now. It should be good now. Yeah. Yeah, so he went to Serbia for sure because it's easier for him there. Maybe it's easier to open a bank account. Maybe it's easier for him to get the residence and to live like a normal human being. I mean, that's why he. Oh, sorry about. Yeah, yeah, Sri Lanka is a very little country, and yeah, they just try to be friendly with everyone. It must be very heartbreaking to be a refugee from one's own country. Roman left his home and all his friends and family behind back in Russia. He left to escape being conscripted in the army. Yeah, he left it, and not only left, but he lost his friend. Why he lost his friends? Because he said his own opinion. He said his own opinion, and because of his opinion, he became like considered by his friends and family and everyone. He get considered like a traitor or something. I don't know. Yeah. So imagine that. I mean, he just almost like cut the connections, and not because he wanted to cut the connection, because he's just not welcome anymore, because he said his opinion. Yeah, he's just not welcome anymore. I don't have like a lot of friends in Russia, so I don't in this who I am bashing. In this situation, I mean, he cut all the relations, and I mean, I don't have a lot of Russians, friends Russians, and he got a break from bankrupt friend as well. Ah, yeah, it's nice. So I will not feel that much, yeah, because I wasn't like very socially active. I was just home working. I mean, sometimes traveling somewhere with my wife, etc. I mean, I wasn't that connected with the people there. But imagine someone who were very connected to the people there, and he just left, and he said his opinion, and he, I mean, became hated by by most of his friends and relatives. Yeah, and he's like kind of trapped between like the one, like the people who are there, they hate him and they consider him, he will talk about that, traitor, and the other side also they consider him that he's not doing enough, or he's not, I mean, and he's sanctioned and everything. I mean, like trapped between two forces that are fighting each other. And this, I consider these people victims. I mean, these people victims. Yeah, these people are victims. He is victim, I am victim, a lot of Russians who left, they are victims. They are victims of war. And this how they are treated. I don't know, maybe they are moving to Russia because like the interest of the, how to say, the social media, maybe because they are getting a lot of views from Russia, because it's kind of everyone like I don't know, talking one thing about Russia, and they go there and try to show something else about Russia, and they kind of get a lot of views. Maybe that's the reason why they come back. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know about the vloggers, why they come back. Or maybe most of people who like left, they didn't find a solution. They didn't find a solution. They didn't find a place. They weren't welcoming, or they are run out of money, and they didn't get the residence, or they didn't get the visa, and it was like they faced a lot of troubles. They couldn't open a bank account. They couldn't do a lot of things, and that's why, I mean, they just come back because they are pushed to come back. They are pushed to come back. Some people, about 20%, have a sensitive personality and are also prone to depression. It seems to me that Roman is like that. No amount of money and success will solve those problems. Yeah, of course, he has a lot of pressure. If I had to leave my country for the same reasons as Roman you did, would make me feel like my, yeah. Country had rejected me, and I just feel deeply for depression. All the vlogger.
Russia's struggle for freedom, or my personal individual struggle for freedom. At that point, if you comment on my video, that's what you're doing, right? And honestly, I do feel like a lot of people are just not ready to admit that they're really not as progressive or woke as tolerant as they think they are. Because I run into this take all the time, where people say, I'm accepting, I'm tolerant, but with Russians, I know how to behave. I know that they're not to be trusted or whatever. And I'm just like, what? Like, if you're saying something that sounds racist, or xenophobic, at the end of the day, you are saying something that's racist and xenophobic. I know you can play mental gymnastics and try to justify it in various different ways, and here's the thing. The reason why I'm calling this out is because I used to be like this. Once again, when I was an edgy anti-HW edgelord in 2016, when I was making, videos making fun of feminists or whatever, I thought to myself, I just don't like feminism, I don't hate women. Or, I was like,
yeah, maybe he's not talking about a different topic. I will just scroll a little bit. I mostly watch it before his, in the end of the video.
Because everything that's happening right now, I don't know. I was not raised to live in this world. I was raised with different principles. And my principles, I guess, are not popular in this world, because what's popular in this world is being ignorant and making money. That's what matters in this world, really. And I Ukrainian, and I think my life is hard and bad or whatever, but I'm out here, I'm free. I can travel the world. I can travel to some parts of the world, right? And I have friends in Ukraine that are literally, stuck in Kiev, and they're male, so they can't even leave, and they're under constant threats and everything. And even though we talk and we seem no different, really, I realize how different his position is to mine.
Yeah, I mean, people from both sides are struggling. I mean, it's sure. I mean, yeah. Sorry about the connection. It will appear again. His video in Thailand were fun. I liked it when he got buzzed. Yeah, he's very funny. Didn't allow Jewish people to immigrate as well. Yeah, but why? Yeah. It's strange. Maybe in this political game, always someone is used like that. I mean, maybe. Yeah. I mean, maybe the same. It happened to Jewish people before. What's happening now to Russian people? I feel that. I mean, yeah. People are people, yes.
In life right now, and that is really unfair in my opinion, right? Or another thing that's unfair, how artists and YouTubers who literally are staying in Russia and promoting the Russian government and the special Z operation or whatever, they're staying in Russia, they're doing completely fine, they're not under any threats of persecution by Russia itself. And actually European countries, they issue out visas and travel visas to Russians just fine right now. And a lot of these see propaganda people are traveling to like Europe right now, Italy, Spain, etc. All these kind.
Yeah, I mean, even like those artists and famous figures. I mean, in Russia, they are doing just okay, and they can, I mean, do their concerts in Europe. They can do, I don't know, in US they can go because they have money, and I don't know, they even like maybe have already other citizenship. Yeah, yeah, but maybe the only thing to blame people, to blame Russians, like that they didn't leave Russia much more before, or they didn't get the other citizenship like before. They didn't think about that because I don't know, but we never know what will happen in the future. I mean, they didn't expect what will happen. I mean,
Countries are giving out visas pretty easily to Russians right now. Meanwhile, myself and also a ton of other people I know, they left Russia because they don't feel safe staying there, and now we're in this sort of limbo where we can't apply for like a visa anywhere because we don't have like residency of any other country, and therefore we're not able to travel anywhere. So it's also a little bit unfair, right? That people who promote like Putin and Xi and all of that, they get to travel to Europe and enjoy like, you know, the wonders of the, you know, free Western world or whatever, go to Starbucks.
yeah, sometimes when you talk about serious stuff, and you just have to laugh sometimes. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, of course. I mean, who are safe? Politicians who are doing all this stuff, they are safe. Uh, like rich people, they are safe. They don't struggle. Like famous people, also, they don't struggle that much. But other than that, I mean, it's really crazy.
While we, you know, the people you would think should be accepted, instead, no, we're stuck and we can't go there, you know, and it's not because like there's any inherent logic in it. There's not, because it's just because like the entire immigration system is complete fucking nonsense. Like, can you anybody tell me, by the way, what was immigration like 100 years ago? Because I was trying to Google this and I can't find any info. Because how the fuck did all these Russians who like left one?
Yeah, even like 100 years ago, it was maybe easier to travel to people. I mean, like we are getting in 2023, like we're supposed to have to be like more, I mean, modern. We have like the internet, and we have, I mean, smartphones, and we have everything, but it's much harder to immigrate now than before. Like before it was easy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and a lot of people like they went to US before, even in the Soviet Union. I mean, it was easier for them. Yeah, to go to US, and they were like welcome, and they have their communities there in US, and in Europe, and everywhere. They even say like like Germany, the Russian German. The Russian German, they like expression Russian German, because there are a lot of Russians who like lived all their life in Germany, and they called Russian Germans. So it was even like easier for them like to create whole big communities in other countries, not only to travel them. I mean, yeah. Despite like in the Soviet Union was like the Soviet Union was like more strict, more strict. Yeah. So, and they could travel and they could live, and it was easy for them. Yeah, not only about being expensive, but it's getting harder in terms of documents, in terms of getting the visa and everything. Maybe it's easy, of course, for other nationalities, because they are not how to say discriminated. But for Russians, really hard. Good night, Gene.
100 years ago, after like the Soviet Revolution on that like philosopher's fucking boat, how the fuck they get to like Germany and France and Paris and all this shit? Did they have Schengen visas back then? I don't think they did, right? So we're even worse off than the fucking Russian like white emigres 100 years ago. White, I mean like the people who supported the Tsar. That shit is crazy. And yeah, situations like these just show me that like there's really the world really isn't fair as well. Like if you put out like good energy and like good vibes in the world, it's really like not guaranteed that those will return to you. Because you can be like a shitty person promoting Z, and you can be enjoying all the rights that the people who actually like standing up for freedom and who actually like risking their freedom. You can do everything that they can do, even though you're like objectively a worse person. Like what's the fucking points, man?
Huh. Yeah, I mean, really, it's really crazy. What's the point? What's the point of being good? I mean, this is like what's spread now. Like, if like even bad people are enjoying it, yeah. Hard that was for you and other Russians to leave everything behind. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, like it's kind of, as I said, like everything is to satisfy the devil. I mean, yeah, because like bad people are enjoying it, but the good people are struggling. Like the more good you are, the more struggle you have to have. Yeah, so it's really crazy. What more said is only minority of Russian disagree. Most are pro. Like just those minority are just pushed back, and when they go back, because all the struggle they have and all the difficulties, they also get blamed because why they get back. They get blamed very hard.
And that's just what I'm trying to say here. Like, what is this? What is this? I don't know, dude. I really don't know at this point. And once again, with like another personal anecdote again to sort of round it off, there's a certain category of people online who like to sort of criticize me for not doing enough or not speaking enough about like the actual Russian-Ukrainian conflict and for like not actually talking about the things that matter.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I mean, yeah. For pushing him to talk, to put himself in risk, but he will not say about that. But I mean about the documents. So he has again documents. They have those documents to be prolonged, and in case he will say anything, I mean against. So in the future, they may just refuse him. I mean, they will just not prolong him the visa. They will not prolong him the passport, because without the prolonging the passport, you have to have valid passport at least for 6 months. Yeah, so you have to have a valid passport, like at least for the 6 months to have a visa or to have a residence, to have anything. Yeah, and if he will be like crazy, I mean, like he will be wanted, for example, in Russia. Let's say that, for example. So he can't even prolong his passport, and maybe that's the only passport they have. He has. Yeah, so that's crazy.
And instead, making fun of like shaman and propaganda, whatever. The thing is, guys, I'm just like in my safe little lane. I would like to talk about other things, but like who actually is going to offer me the security to be able to talk about these things, right? Because right now I have none. Like I honestly really feel, and this again also adds up to like this whole inside depression thing. I really don't feel like I have like any human rights at all, to be quite honest. I really don't feel like, anybody gives a fuck. Like honestly, if I was to be arrested, I wouldn't feel like there would be any country that would try to defend me in any way. I don't feel like there's any single...
Who will defend him in case, I mean... Oh my god. The only way is to seek for asylum.
Organization that would give a fuck. Like, I just feel like so alone and stranded in this fucking world. So pointless because like people will still fucking hate anything. And give me like a fucking plan. If I want to like move to another country where I could be able to do that, I gotta do that myself. Obviously, nobody's gonna like do my visa shit for me, and I am doing it. That's the thing. I am trying to. But still, like, I don't want to just say all type of shit on this channel that could, you know, have repercussions, and meanwhile have like absolutely no security for myself. I'm not going to like throw my life away for internet good boy points. I'm trying to, you know, do the best that I fucking can right now. And like nothing that is happening makes any sense. And like, I'm just tired of it. So yeah guys, to put it short, the way I really describe it is that being Russian right now in the year of 2023, especially one in a position that's similar to mine, meaning that a person who can't really return or come back, at least that's how I feel for myself. You know, you really feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place because in my own country, you know, they essentially want me fucking dead because, you know, I'm perceived as like, you know, a traitor or whatever, you know, spreading the woke agenda or whatever the fuck. Meanwhile, honestly, from what people are saying online, from how people are acting, from how people are just seething, overflowing with like this hatred, a lot of the times.
Yeah, like a trap between two fires. Like one fire is here, another fire is here, and those people who left, they are just in between the two fires. Yeah. I don't know what is not good, Black Cat. Can you explain to me? I am just sharing my how to say, my reaction to someone who is between two fires. Uh, yeah, just explain to me. Okay, let's discuss. Let's discuss this. Like just telling me that I am not doing good. What is bash? What is bashing? I'm not. I don't know. What's the word bash? Let me check. What is bashing? You said many times. Bashing. I'm not bashing. What is bashing? Bash. I'm not bashing. I am talking negatively about this guy. Am I talking negatively about this guy? Strange. How I am talking about negatively about this guy? I am saying what he's saying. I am explaining the situation and the situation of Russians who left and who are like between two fires. I'm not bashing this guy. Just get to the point and try to understand. Yeah.
It honestly feels like they want me fucking dead, like, on the other side, like.
I said that this guy is talking about his situation, his struggle. Maybe you didn't watch from the beginning. His struggle, despite being like so successful, having 1 million subscribers, and having like a lot of views, having enough money and everything, he is struggling. He can't open a bank account. He can't do a lot of things. And he is talking about those Russians who are in my situation, who is hard for them to get the residence, hard for them to open a bank account, hard for them to do a lot of stuff, and they are like blamed of things that they didn't do. I am just sharing the opinion of this guy. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I don't know. Maybe you are drunk a little bit or something. I don't know.
A fucking orc sub is a threat in general, and you know, I guess it's just something I have to live with. And to begin with, I'm already like so confused about my fucking playful shit, and yeah, it's what this is what being manly is. So I guess, you know, we're gonna fucking integrate that shit. Let me show you guys actually.
Yeah, he finished, I think. So we have 20 minutes to talk just about my ideas and about Black Cat. Yeah. Yeah, it's really crazy. Whew. Yeah, I just mean that the guy is in my situation, and the thing that he say that a lot of things I wanted to say maybe in a form of this stream, in a form of my reaction. Uh, is Yeah, I'm just sharing my feelings because I feel better when I share such a thing, and I'm sure that this guy, he created this content and this video to release that pain and to feel better, because there's like two choice, or you uh, or I mean, or to go to psychologue and pay a lot of money to feel better, or just to, I mean, use, I mean, your video to release the pain and say what do you think, or go and harm yourself. I mean, like live this life. Yeah, because yeah, that's like three things, three options. I mean, all you have to release the pain and say what's inside of you and make it easier for you, or you can harm yourself, or you can, for example, go to drink alcohol, or make, I don't know, drugs or something like that. I mean, uh, why? Maybe the guy, he is against alcohol. Maybe he doesn't drink a lot and he doesn't use drugs and he doesn't smoke. Just like me, I don't smoke. I don't drink. I mean, yeah, I smoke sometimes, like very very rare when I am big company, because when I am nervous or something like that, maybe, and even I don't buy it now anymore. I stopped to smoke. But drinking, I don't drink at all. So when you don't drink at all, I mean, there's like also a difference between people who in the evening can come home and drink some alcohol and forget about a lot of stuff, and between people who like have to deal with their struggle, with their depression, with their ideas. I mean, they are always sober. So this the big difference between people who are always sober and people who drink from time to time, because when they drink, they relax, they forget everything. But the way, for example, for me is, instead of drinking, I can make a stream like this, I can talk what's in my mind, and I feel better. And I prefer to do this instead of going to drink. Yeah, so I feel better that way. Yeah, so I will not go to drink, but I will release my pain like this. I will share. Even, I mean, if you think like I am harming my channel this way, I mean, I don't see it harming it, but anyway, if you see me harming my channel, so I rather sacrifice my channel, but have better well-being in myself. I mean, and be a normal person, not be angry with my family, not doing, like, not drinking alcohol. It's better for me to even harm the channel, if you consider this harm channel, than harming myself or my family or drinking or something. I think I'm doing the best thing. Yeah, of course. I mean, like, there is difference between Russia and Russian government. A lot of people, they love Russia. A lot of people, they love our Russian culture. But between like Russian government and Russia, there is like a huge difference. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have like 15 minutes. You can ask me about any questions. Yeah, like I just wanted to share my point of view and to create good content. I mean, it's also easier for me now to create reaction videos like this, instead of going to walk a long time, because I'm getting really tired. I walk at night and I walk many kilometers. So it's better to do this from home, to react to something or something like that. Yeah, or to do maybe collaborations. Yeah, because I walked enough in this place. Maybe only if we will travel a little bit to go to other places. Only that way we can. I mean, I can show some content from the outside, walking, etc. Uh, but. But here, but now when we are in the same place, it's it's hard to find something new. What do Russians want from the West and the war? I don't know. What do Russian citizens want from the West and the war? I don't know. Maybe to like support people who are like against maybe this. I don't know. I don't know a lot of Russians to ask them what they want. Maybe this question is better for those who are interviewing Russians or who are living in Russia or who are in touch with a lot of Russians. I mean, I have like now 2 Russian friends who are living here in Sri Lanka. Other than that, I am not in touch with any Russian in Russia. Only with that YouTuber, he is helping me a little with the YouTube, and we are not talking about any politics or something. Yeah. And even though this Russian wanted to involve me in some, I don't know, some strange website investment. Other than that, I said I talk with my mother. She's Russian, but she's living in Algeria. And she just wanted to, for me, the best. Yeah. And my wife is Russian, so I don't have any Russian friends to talk with. Or there are like some people like crazy Sergey from Russia, or sometimes we talk with Konstantin. I don't have a lot of Russians I speak with. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't really know, and it's not about what Russians want from the West. I think it's about politicians who should agree to stop all this, because the power is not in hand of people. The power is in the hand of politicians. So if they want to stop everything, they will. If no, so yeah. Yeah, so I mean, in all the countries usually, I mean, people can change a lot of things. Yeah. Usually like the politicians, they have all the power and they can do stuff. I don't think that even like if all Russians, I mean, gather together and I mean, vote against or something, I mean, will change anything. I mean, the politicians themselves, they have to stop all this, and the power is all in politicians' hands. Yeah, because if, for example, today, right, like today, right now, all the politicians, they decided to stop the war, they will stop it. Like in the wars in all the world, they will easily stop it. Yeah. This is, I don't know, my opinion. Maybe I'm right, wrong. But that's what I think. Other than that, I like feel that really, I mean, people are very divided. They are very divided, and especially, I mean, like it's supposed that like the internet and the web should unite all people, but I don't know why people are so divided. Yeah. We don't want to send our moment to I would love to hear other ideas on how to make, and because I'm not sure. I don't know how to make it end. Really, I mean, the problem is in the, how to say, uh, maybe to have a new, like a new kind of system. I mean, like the system we are living in, it's kind of I don't know. People are giving the power to like little group of people who are doing all this stuff, and that's, I mean, what's happening. Yeah, so it should be like changed somehow. Maybe all the structure. I mean, all the, I don't know, all the system should be like some work somehow else. I mean, not. I mean, all the wealth and all the resources going to like to the top people, and some people even don't find what to eat, and that's why. I mean, you see, for example, if you see like there is a website where you can check the how many people, how many hungry people are here, are in the world, and how many uh, fat people are in the world, like the overweight. Like there are a lot of overweight people, and there are a lot of hungry people in this world. That means something is not wrong. We have to have a balance in all the world. It's not like, I mean, not, I am not like blaming, like as you said, like the West or the East, or I mean the we should have a balance. All of us, we should have kind of balance. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, and we will, if we will have that balance between like the poor and the rich, that will solve a lot. But we don't have that balance. So if in this, like in terms of the distribution of the resources, we are not finding the balance, that means in all other things we will not find the balance, because if like the most of the resources are given to some people who will have more power, so they will do stuff, they will do mistakes, and they may think that it's everything is correct, while it's not correct. I mean, maybe it's not in the interest of the majority. Yeah. So that's why if the distribution of wealth will be more fair between people, there will not be like an aggressor and a victim and etc. Like maybe the one of the biggest issue in this world is the distribution of the wealth. I know how to make it like fair to everyone. I mean, I have no idea, but I mean, I'm just thinking, I'm brainstorming this, and I was thinking about this all the time. It's a big topic. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, there are things when people are, I mean, worry about the most, they can't focus on other things. Let's suppose like someone, how to say, is almost losing it all, almost not, I mean, not knowing what to do, where to go. And another person, he will tell him, I took from you $1, or I took from you $50, and he like threatened him, and I will not give you like those dollars anymore. And you look at him, and you see, you think like, oh my God, I'm so. Yeah. Oh my God. Disappearing. Look at the connection that I have. Yeah. 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 Thank you guys very much for watching. It's I maybe Black Cat is enjoying his life. He's very rich, and he's sitting just in, I don't know, in the big villa with all the rights he has and everything. But me, I'm in a very bad situation, and I to make this stream I didn't sleep. How much? It's 4:30 now, 4:30. So I didn't sleep all the night to make this stream. Yeah, I'm not that relaxed. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the support. You can always support me in the comments. In the comments, in the description, you can support me in PayPal. You can send super thanks to my videos, and you can just, I don't know, comment my videos. You can contact me. I mean, I will be always happy to talk with you, and see you in my next videos and streams. Okay. Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. Where I am going? Don't see you writing it. Okay. Goodbye, guys.